This is DJ Cannon, assistant baseball coach at Seton Hill University, here with Figure It Out Baseball. In this video, I'll take you through a rock and roll drill, three-step progression with this drill. The main focus is to get more out of your pitcher's lower half and teach them to control their body through their finish. So to start off this drill, I'll have guys start in their feet shoulder width position and have them take a step forward with their front leg, back with their back leg. So now I'm in a nice wide base stance, similar to where I would be if I took my stride to make a pitch, okay? The next step is I'll have them turn their front foot so it's pointed straight towards their target. That way we can keep our feet planted the entire time we're going through this drill. I also want to make sure that this back foot is squared off as if I'm up against the pitching rubber. I'm going to start with the baseball in my glove, in the middle of my chest, kind of where I would be if I was working through my pitching delivery. So the next progression to this drill, I'm going to rock forward so my weight goes forward onto that front leg, and then push my weight to my back leg. So that'll exaggerate the weight shift to make sure I feel my weight getting into my back leg. So now I feel strong and I have momentum to get me moving towards my target. So I'm going to rock forward, rock back. Something you want to focus on as they rock back is trying to keep this back knee over their back toes. A lot of guys will either turn their foot and that knee will roll outside of that foot, or their knee will collapse inside of that back leg, and now I lose connection to that back side altogether. So now I'm just going to kind of fold over my front side. So when I rock back, if that knee is over my back toes, I can have that weight into my back side here. I have all those big muscles in my back leg to push and turn myself to my target. So for our first progression of this drill, when I come through to throw, I'm just going to try to turn this back foot over to make sure that my hips are getting squared to my target, my chest is squared to my target, and I finish over this front leg under control. So I'm not going to follow through all the way, bringing my back leg through. I'm just going to turn that foot over, controlling my weight over my front side. So it'll look something like this. I'll rock forward, rock back, throw. One more example here. I'm going to rock forward, rock backwards, and throw. Like I had mentioned with some of the back leg issues that you might see with this drill, those can also lead to, when the pitcher comes through to throw, losing balance on that front leg. So you'll see guys just kind of lose their balance and fall off to their throwing side. Or if that back leg collapses on them, a lot of times their glove side will take over and they'll just kind of rotate and not be able to hold that finished position. So this will kind of give you those cues and make it pretty obvious whether they executed the drill correctly or not based off of how they're able to finish that throw. The next progression, we go the same way with our same setup stance, where I rock forward, rock back, and now I'm going to fire my backside all the way through, trying to use as much momentum from that backside as possible, really just focusing on having my arm nice and loose, not trying to throw it as hard as I can, just letting my legs create all the velocity to that throw. So it'll look like this. Rock forward, rock back, finish. So we use the same mechanics on the back side where I'm turning that foot over, but now I use that momentum to get all the way through so that my hips are still turning, and now I'm not stopping my momentum through that throw. So one more time, rock forward, rock back, throw. The final progression to this drill, a little bit more advanced, but it'll test our athlete's ability to get their momentum going towards their target. I'll tighten up that stance where I go back to feet being about shoulder width apart. Now instead of rocking forward and backwards, I'm going to take a small jump forward, small jump backwards, and then make that throw to my target. So this will test them a little bit more, where they have a little bit more momentum coming towards that backside, but they now have to stop and regenerate towards their target. This one, you'll see a lot of issues being able to stabilize on that back foot, where guys will start to roll over and not be able to stop, and their head goes outside of that back foot, or they try to stop their momentum too quickly and that knee collapses again. So we want to make sure that they are able to keep that whole foot into the ground, stop that momentum, turn and throw. So it'll look like this. Jump forward, jump back, and throw. One more time. I'll jump forward, jump back, and throw. And as your pitchers get better and better with that drill, you can test them by having them jump a little bit further each direction each time. So if they get a little bit too good at it, you can extend the distance that they're jumping and really test how good they are at getting off of their backside and generating as much power from their lower half as possible. This is DJ Cannon with Seton Hill University, here with Figure It Out Baseball. This was our rock and roll progression. Make sure to check out the next video where we'll summarize the pitching delivery and put full pitching delivery together.